Cyberbrainer is an online training platform designed to help individuals and teams learn the latest technologies and become certified professionals, producing a comprehensive learning experience.
Clear on this, I will not have them in the C now. Let me show you, we will show that makes its sense. Now I'm going to copy this business process definition over here. And I'm going to say it is going to be effective 0-10-11-1900. And instead of copy workflow to business object, I will say rule-based definition. I will say RN external load. Alright, I will create. Okay, so they seem to have done a little bit of a mockery. Because this definition was not available in 1-1-1-1-1900. So I cannot create that one over there. So that is why. So I'm just putting it just a week prior. Alright. So my definition will look something like I would remove all of these. Possibly I'll have only the pay group assignment. Pay group assignment and change of costing allocation is not required. Review is not required. Approval. I do not want to have an approval. I do not want to have an approval. Why? I'll tell you also. So, if you want to, I would rather say, I would even remove these two. If it does not throw me an error. So let's say, if it's going to throw an error, I'll put it like test for EIB loads. That's it. That's it. This is how it's going to look. It's going to be more like a bare bones. It's going to be more a bare bones to know our business process. It's going to be a bare bone implementation or a bare bone business process and definition. Alright. And one thing I think I taught you about the rule-based definitions as well. I teach you about rule-based definitions, or not? Do you know about how to create? I'm sure you know how to create it for a specific business object. But did I teach you all about how to create a rule-based definition? And how to trigger them? This particular business process. You know, in your normal business process that we have. So I'm just parking EIB, just for a quick 2 minutes. Sorry on that. I think I should have taught you guys this earlier. So I have it over here. Let's say, create position. This business process has been created for a business object which is possibly a supervisory organization, called CRP Pilting. Alright. Whereas this definition I created right now is called, as a rule-based BP definition. There are two types of business processes which can be created. One for a business object. So if you see over here, if I go and copy this definition, I say copy or link the definition, I will get two different options over here. One is the workflow. One is copy definition to a business object, which means you're going to copy it to a support. Or you leave the link, or I will do this. What I will do is I will create a rule-based workflow definition name, which means this workflow definition to business object is automatically going to be triggered. Triggered for a specific business object, which could possibly be my location, company cost center, or a supervisory organization. Whereas I can also create a rule-based definition which can be triggered based on and where I'll be giving this rule is, I go to any business process definition of create position, business process, and I come to rule-based business process configuration. Rule-based business process configuration. And here I will enter a new rule over here. I will see if I can have an external, but I think there is already available over here. Okay. Alright. Please pay close attention to this particular rule. This is already a delivered rule which is available. So this rule definition is going to say external load is equal to Y for our EIB. It is precisely an external load, which means I'm not going to use the UI to do it. Whereas I'm going to load it via an external EIB interface. So I'm given the external load field over here equal to Y. If external load equal to Y, then I'm going to choose an appropriate rule-based definition over here. So, for all external load-based rule, this is the business process rule-based business definition which is going to be triggered. And again, you may ask me a question. I have one for company cost center or supervised organization. I may have one for rule-based as well, so which one will take precedence? The one that will take precedence is always the one created for the specific company, cost center location, or your supervised reorganization. So, for example, I have one EIB, say, which is created. Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute, 1 minute. I have one created for rule-based and other for. Sorry, I think I'm going to stick over there. It's not the one that is going to be created for that. It is going to take precedence of the rule-based, not the one that we created for that specific object. The first one that it's going to check is, do I have one for a rule-based? If I have one for a rule-based, then it is going to trigger this. If not, then it will go and pick the business process which is created for that particular business object. For that particular business object. I'll show you that in a better way also. I go to my support called Rian. And now for this, let me go across to business process definitions for this particular B, for that supervised reorganization. Alright. Let me go to position. Alright. So I have one definition. I do not have any position. Sorry, any create position business process created for this. So, for this particular test, Rian BP1, supervised reorganization, the default one, which is going to be here, is going to be the default definition which is already created. And if I try to load it via an EIB, which is an external load, the definition which is going to be triggered is going to be your create position, Rian, external load which I have created. Got it. Makes sense. Clear on this so far. And that is the way I would create a rule-based definition. So we have like a rule-based definition and also one which is created for the business object. Alright. For the business object, the one which is going to be triggered first is going to be your rule-based.